everyone, this is episode 175 of PC versus Mac, and yes, for all of you who have been commenting in the YouTube channel that Android is not a PC, I'm not necessarily saying mobile devices or PCs, but we could easily make that argument. We're just talking about platform A versus platform B, you anal retentive little... People have started complaining in the YouTube channel about, well, this isn't PC, it's Android. I'm like, okay, good for you. As you can guess by the title we have here, you're holding it the wrong way. We are covering the joy of the iPhone 4 and the magical ways that Steve Jobs intended, or didn't intend, for you to hold it. I'm not sure anyone will hold a phone this way, but that's the way Steve Jobs envisioned it. So embrace your inner Schwartz and levitate your iPhone 4 to use it. And I apologize for the lag on that. Anyways, to help out on this, I got Leo to help, and James, and hopefully we have some fun. Anyways, stupid death grip issues. You said you had more on this, Leo, than we had. Those of you who don't know, we may sound canned on this because we did this show yesterday, and like an idiot, I left the microphones off, so we had no sound. So we're doing it again. Anyways. Anyways, Leo, what was it you said you found more on the death grip of doom or whatever?
Well, just I was looking through a bunch of the Apple fanboy comments on it, and a lot of them were actually reporting that they could reproduce this on other phones, including the Nexus 1 or whatever. And so I went around and I was actually able to reproduce something similar on even my own cell phone.
And could you get it to fully lose the signal?
I'm beginning to wonder if this is really such a unique feature to the iPhone 4.
Well, okay, you said you were able to produce it on your phone. All the things I've seen of what Steve is talking about there and saying this is a non-issue is the FCC requires the antennas to be in location X, which means they're there on every phone. They're in that corner. It's where they are. The thing that people are saying is, well, if you touch it, you get some signal loss. And I'm getting that on my G1 right here. I'm touching the spot you're not supposed to touch on SON, and I'm going from 4 bars to -1 bar. But I'm not losing my entire signal all the way down to searching. And I've seen...
that would be my question for Leo. You said that this happens on the Nexus 1. Is it losing all the bars, or is the signal just going down?
I'm not entirely sure. I found the bug report that I was linked to, and apparently if you cover the back of the device rather than one of the sides, it will at the very least drop, and I don't know. I'll look that up while you two discuss it some more.
Okay, go ahead and look up. No, because that's the thing. Actually, I'm going to link to this. I don't know if anybody watches Mr. Bit 10, but Mr. Bit 10 did this test. He did it on YouTube. He didn't have a Nexus 1. He had a Life's Good phone, an iPhone 4, and his Palm. And he stuck them on there, and he tried to reproduce this. With the iPhone, it's the death grip. It's and then he held it for 30 seconds and it went to searching, no signal at all. He was able to get the other phones to lose a bar and a half, but he couldn't get them to fall off into oblivion. And I get the same thing here. It's you do get interference with every single cell phone. If I get mine too close to PC screens or speakers or anything that's on a similar, it's I get interference, I'll get background noise, the signal will get weaker, but it doesn't fall off into oblivion. It's actually, Tiny has a Nexus 1, but he'll never hear me, and I'm not getting up and running over there, but I mean, were they able to get it to fall off into oblivion on the other phones? Because everything I've seen is like people are trying to get other phones to fall off into oblivion, and they cannot get it to reproduce the same oblivion effect.
The Devil's Avocado on Reddit is reporting that he can get the LG BL40 to fall into oblivion that way.
Okay.
But I don't know who uses that phone.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's. I'm sure there are other phones that have this problem. I'm sure it is not particularly and uniquely unique to the iPhone 4. It
The
wouldn't.
response to it probably is.
Yeah, the response to it is. That's the thing that I think pisses it, because it's. I haven't seen a good response to this from Apple fanboys, and that is the whole idea that, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Just hold it with the force, or hold it like like the federal test did, where people hold it, just by the top and bottom. It's like, okay, if you will make your phone call like this, everything will work perfectly. I don't see that happening. Honestly, what would have really impressed me, and Apple can afford to do this, and this would have, I still would have bashed on them for it, but I wouldn't be making the what the hell deal out of this like I am, which is those little bumpers fix this problem. And those bumpers can't cost more than 50 cents to make, if $1 at the most. How much would it cut into Apple's profit margin if they just issued an ultimatum to Apple stores and Apple retail, kiosks and yada yada and so forth, to go, anyone who has an iPhone 4 who wants one, give them a free bumper. Ideally, the bumper should have been in the phone to start with, so this problem didn't exist. Maybe it will in the iPhone 5. I don't know. But, I mean, don't you think that would have been a better reaction to this? Like, everybody gets a free bumper, whatever color they want, as long as it's in stock. Then the issue doesn't exist. You're holding the phone the wrong way. That's...
Yeah, but you're dreaming if you think that Apple would do that, or frankly, most companies.
I guess I'm a little naive in that regard, but this is a problem I have a sneaking suspicion just got overlooked. I think the first time anyone at Apple knew about this problem was probably the Apple keynote. I mean, we will never know if this is what actually happened to Steve Jobs on stage, because Apple would never admit it if it was. But if you look at what the iPhone 4 did in Steve Jobs' hand on stage, it's this problem. It's this problem produced live in front of the world, and I think they just, I don't, given the way Steve Jobs reacted to that, it wasn't like, what the fuck? It was like, it was one of those, I don't think anybody knew that this was a problem till right then and there. Or do you think they even figured it out then? This would have been figured out if they'd done proper beta tests, but...
I think that if they knew, he wouldn't have had that problem. If, what you're saying, if that was actually the problem, the iPhone problem of the reception, he wouldn't have held it that way. So, obviously, I think they found out then.
Yeah, I know. I think that's right when they found out. And this is one of those things. It's like you grab the phone, how you naturally want to grab the phone, and the signal falls off into oblivion. This is the latest in series of mistakes like this from Apple. It's the iPad. The first time people found out that its Wi-Fi antennas were having some type of interference or weakness was when they actually sold them. Because my guess is nobody ever bothered to think, well, maybe we should take an iPad out of the Apple campus and send it home with maybe 10 employees to just test and see if it works like it's supposed to in real world conditions, not the lab. The same thing with the iPhone 4. If they had sent it out with 10 Apple employees, not in these, because when they were sending it out, they were in these cloak cases, like we know from the bar one. They weren't in real world conditions like a real world person would have it. It's like, if they would just do that, this stuff wouldn't happen. We're up on time. We have to pause for a second.